To whom much is given, much is expected.
Nash is really calm, and he's not the big talker, I think, but he just does the right things.
If you ever watch him in practice, how detailed he is and how hard he works, and he just sets a great example for everyone out there.
He's going first in the drills, he's doing them right.
Within the drills, you can tell that he's competitive, he's detailed, he's a pro.
He's a real lead by example kind of guy. He's always doing extra in the gym, pushing himself. You look at someone like Nienhuis, he's just a natural leader, so he's a great guy to have the seat.
Just his presence on the ice, having a guy like that in our locker room, especially with the young team, is going to be really valuable.
Point shot, goal! Nash Nienhuis with a laser ray. Spartans back into the zone, dropped into the slot for Nienhuis. Goal for Michigan State. Nash Nienhuis with some quick wrists.
It's a great moment, you know. It's something that feels rewarding in a sense when your teammates vote for you to lead. You know, it's obviously a huge honor, but I think a lot of responsibility comes with that. You have to conduct yourself well at the rink, but also outside of the rink, and Coach Nightingale talks about that a lot, and how, you know, we can be different and how we can lead by example, not only as hockey players, but just as people outside of the rink.
I think he's true to who he is. You know, he doesn't put on a front when I'm around or when other coaches around. It's, you know, Nash is a pro, and he doesn't change. He doesn't panic, and if things aren't going our way, he takes a deep breath. And I think having someone that has that poise and the competitive side to him. And when we did the vote, there's only one person that didn't vote for him to be captain. It was himself. And I think that speaks to his humility too, right? And so obviously he's got the respect of his teammates and his coaches.
Jerry, get your Jerry going.
Obviously, I think my dad was a little bit of an influence. He started playing hockey at such a late age. It was like house league to the NHL within 5 or 6 years, which was pretty crazy.
There's so much that goes into a hockey journey, and the constant grind, mentally, physically, spiritually, it's unbelievable. And so to watch him since a little kid, a baby, all the way up, and to watch how hard he pursued it.
Playing hockey as well, and you know, he could kind of coach me in the corner, and that's where my game started to really excel. And I found that, I fell in love with the game of hockey, and that was something that just kind of took off for me.
There's no words to describe it on the face of the earth as a hockey player, as a dad, because he's so deserving of that, and to be recognized by the coaches and by the players, and how humble he is and how hard he works every day.
I talk about, you know, my dad and how much he helped me, but I think my mom was just as much of a support system for me, and you know, she's been through it all, and you know, taken my brother and I to tournaments growing up. So they were through my whole journey, and you know, they helped me in the low times and the high times.
Out into the middle, now shot, goal! Nash Nienhuis, the captain, pulls the trigger from the left circle.
Coming from my hometown, Sarnia, playing junior B hockey there, I never really looked too far ahead, and you know, it obviously worked out, and I'm here, which I'm so thankful for, but I never really knew what the end plan was going to be. I felt just behind. I felt like I was a step slower than everyone else.
Captains become captains because of their fabric and who they are, and you don't want to change anything about who you are, because you're there for a reason. And Nash has that fabric and that persistence and perseverance and character to make him a leader.
Sometimes I'm driving here on campus and I'll just think wow, look where I am. I'm on Michigan State campus. I play hockey here. I'm so lucky for that. And Coach Nightingale says it, we're all young hockey players on our team, regardless of if you're a grad transfer, a senior, or a freshman. There's so much more to development, and you know, I think that even comes in an aspect of life too. We're still young people, and we're learning how to kind of go day by day and be better.